Now, many of you already know that the traveling and leisure industry is one of the industries in South Africa which is seeing a very strong recovery. I mean, beginning of this year, I did a video where, of course, I was showing you the data from, of course, I think it was March or April, which showed a huge increase, or which is showing a great recovery in this industry, which is something that is incredible because, ladies and gents, companies, or this just simply means that companies in this industry are expected to do very well, or are expected to also recover in terms of the share price, because you will know that during the pandemic, companies or stocks in the traveling and leisure industry in South Africa, we saw them dropping or falling sharply, which resulted in companies like, of course, City Lodge to drop from over 100 rands per share to down to 4 rands, or somewhere between 3 rands per share, and companies like Sun International dropping from over 60 rands per share to below or just below 10 rands per share, which is something that, of course, it was something that really was a serious concern during the pandemic, as so many people all over the world were restricted from country to country, which is something that really hurt, of course, companies in the traveling and leisure industries. Now, one of the good things that we are seeing, or that we saw from the year 2022 in this industry, is that it looks like companies are really starting to recover. In fact, there are companies like Sun International who saw their revenues going back to pre-COVID levels for the year 2022, which is something that must just show you that this is a company, or that was a company, that is really doing well in that industry. Now, today, ladies and gents, we just got wonderful news, or yesterday I got wonderful news once again from this traveling and leisure industry, because, ladies and gents, the June stats are seeing even more improvement, or are showing more improvement into this industry, meaning that, ladies and gents, even the companies once again into this industry are expected to even continuing to do well even for the year 2023, because it looks like the trend is not being broken. The trend, or the inflows, or the increase in inflows continues to increase, which is something that will seriously boost, of course, this industry, which is something that will make companies like Sun International, by the way, to continue doing well. Because imagine if, of course, the companies like Sun International manage to beat, or manage to go back to the kind of revenues they were generating before the pandemic. Imagine the kind of revenues they will generate this year, which makes them, or which is for this reason why Sun International, in my personal South African portfolio, it is a stock that seriously dominates the portfolio. It is my largest holding stock, or it is my largest holding asset into my South African, of course, stock market portfolio, because I believe in its fundamentals. I believe in the growth that I see onto this company, which is why I made them my largest holding company into my South African portfolio. I think as it stands right now, I see on the screen, I have got over 1,353 shares of Sun International, and it is because I believe that this is a company that is seriously doing very well. Now, before we dig deeper into this video, you already know that this video is just an entertainment video and not a professional financial advice video. And I would really appreciate if you can just hit that like button if you are enjoying the content that I'm giving you about the traveling and leisure industry, which is continuing to see a recovery, which is something that is good news to a company like Sun International, which is the company that we talk a lot about on this channel. So if you're enjoying this kind of content, hit the like button, as it also helps with YouTube's algorithm. Otherwise, if you've not subscribed, consider subscribing, hit that notification bell, because on this channel I talk everything, of course, that relates to the stock market. Stock market is one of the topics that I discuss a lot. As long as the kind of news that we get, whether locally or internationally, have an impact into the stock market, I will discuss it. As long as it is stocks that personally I like, and stocks that I believe they're doing some very good trend, I'll discuss them on this channel. So if you want to at least start your stock market investing journey, I think it would really be good for you to subscribe and hit that notification bell. So without wasting any more of your time, yes, the company that, of course, I personally believe that it is going to get a serious boost from this growth, or from this good recovery we are seeing from the traveling and leisure industry, ladies and gents, it is Sun International. And as I've said, this is the reason, or part of the reason, why I feel that Sun International, it will do very well this year. It's because this is a company that in this traveling and leisure industry, they are the leaders, or they are one of the leaders in this traveling and leisure industry, because, ladies and gents, regardless of the traveling and leisure industry not recovering by much, or at least starting to show recovery last year in 2022, Sun International saw their revenues going back to pre-COVID levels. So as many as some of the stocks in this traveling and leisure industry might be struggling to go back to the kind of revenues they were generating pre-COVID levels, or pre-COVID, Sun International has already went back with their 2022, of course, financials, or with their 2022 revenues, which is something that must just show you that if 2022, like I said, was that good to Sun International, imagine the kind of revenues that this stock, a stock like Sun International, will generate in 2023, because the trend, it's still going. But on average, or if you had to look at the trend, ladies and gents, the kind of growth that we are seeing from this traveling and leisure industry, from the 10 top international countries or overseas country, we are seeing a recovery still below, or the trend still below the kind of trend we're seeing back in 2019, which is something that must just show you that on average, of course, yes, the improvement or the growth in this industry, it is still below the growth we saw pre-COVID or back in 2019, which once again, to see a company like Sun International reporting revenues that they, or the kind of revenues they were reporting back in 2019 last year, or for their 2022 year, just make you to see why this stock has to be my favorite stock in this traveling and leisure industry. So I'm very excited, and I just thought I should just give you this quick update, because once again we are seeing, ladies and gents, this traveling and leisure industry improving, or the inflows from tourists improving throughout this whole year, which is something that I think you should note it as an investor. And though probably you don't invest into Sun International, but I think you might need to look for a stock in the traveling and leisure industry and add it to your portfolio, because, ladies and gents, as this traveling and leisure industry grows, we are going to see, or recovers, we are going to see, of course, stocks in that industry, or in this of course industry, also recovering, which is something that of course will mean that revenues in the stocks that are in this industry are going to increase, and as they increase, the share price will also increase. So I'm very excited, and I just thought I'd just give you this quick updates about what we are seeing, or the very strong trends that we continue to see from this, or coming out from this traveling and leisure industry. So if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit that like button, comment and subscribe. And once you subscribe, don't forget to hit or click that notification bell, so that at least you get notified by YouTube every time I drop a new content. Otherwise, that's all from me, and I wish you nothing but the best in the stock market investing journey. And before you buy any stock, it is always good that you do your own due diligence, so that at least you can be comfortable as you are investing into the stock market. Otherwise, as I've said, this was just an entertainment video, and you should not take it as a professional financial advice video. Otherwise, God bless you all.